Clement IX. Clement IX might be called the playwright pope, because before his elevation to Peter's throne he had been a successful dramatist. Giulio Rospigliosi was born at Pistoia in 1600. Educated at the Jesuit Roman College, he went on to take doctorates in philosophy and theology, but he loved poetry and letters. His plays, which reflected the influence of the great Calderon, seem to have been quite successful. His creative pen did not hinder his rise in the papal service. The cultured Urban VIII and his powerful nephews made much of him. Giulio went to Spain as nuncio and served there with distinction for 9 years. On his return, his fortune paled, for he had been too closely attached to the family of Urban VIII to receive honors from Innocent X. Alexander VII, however, made him Secretary of State and Cardinal. Amiable, gifted, and popular, Giulio was a favorite in the conclave of 1667. He chose to be called Clement IX, and with reason, for he was clement by nature. This pope loved conciliation. His favorite expression seemed to have been, "we concede." His relations with the cantankerous Jansenists go far to prove this. 4 French bishops had refused to sign the formula of faith drawn up by Alexander VII. These peculiar heretics did not want to leave the church, but neither did they want to leave their erroneous opinions. The result was a series of mental gymnastics and contortions. At this time, they were accepting the Pope's condemnation of the 5 propositions taken from Jansen's book, but refusing to believe that the propositions had been maintained by Jansen, at least in the sense the Pope had condemned them. Since Jansenism had become fashionable, it was thought best to allow the stubborn 4 bishops to sign a less illicit formula of faith. This face-saving device was adopted by Clement, who was served poorly by his less than shrewd French nuncio. This compromise, which produced only a lull in the Jansenist storm, is called the Clementine-Peace. Clement also tried hard, and finally with success, to end the war between aggressive Louis XIV and Spain. The Pope wanted all Christians to help the Venetians save Crete. He himself made great efforts, but in vain. Candia, the last Christian stronghold, fell in 1669. Clement was a very attractive character. Free from nepotism, he was devoted to his flock. He personally heard confessions in St. Peter's. He lowered the tax on flour, and he reorganized papal finances. Stingy only with himself, he spent much to help the Venetians, and was a generous patron of artists, and a kind of father to the poor. Clement IX died on December 9, 1669. Clement IX, 236th Pope. Christ our King, thy kingdom come.